Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tai Chi class. Thank you for joining me as we live stream from Ko'akala Wellness Center in the Kona coast of Hawaii. Thank you to our hosts, Dr. Andres and Mary Zulita, founders of the Samasta Global Health. And today we're gonna review what we did last week because some of you haven't seen it, and then we'll go on to continue with the Tai Chi and Qigong. The class, as you know, if you read the thing, it's warm-ups and then Qigong and then Tai Chi. The warm-ups we'll just do every time like normal, and the Qigong I've been teaching just last week. I just showed a few moves, and every week I'll show just a few because there's a lot to learn in one class. So in the Qigong, I'll just do a couple classes, and then, a couple of moves, and then we'll do it every week. And if you look back at the previous video, you'll see the first one, second one, and then, like that, and go forward. So make sure you see the first one, and then if you miss a class, just look at the pre-recorded ones that I'll send out so that you can follow the progression of the movements. The Qigong is kind of like a calisthenics. So once we learn that, it's pretty easy to remember. It's just a repeating movement. The Tai Chi, though, is sequential. So I'm just trying to do one move at a time and see if you guys can follow along the one move. And then we'll continue that every class, just doing it progressively, one position at a time. So the few things before we get started is, and I'll explain that as we go, is just being able to breathe deeply, which means that you need to breathe through the diaphragm or the belly. You want to inhale and expand the belly, and then exhale and contract the belly. So rather than inhaling up here, instead of inhaling up here, you're inhaling down here. So when you inhale, you want to expand. So you want to expand as you inhale, drawing in the air, and then as you contract, you let the air out. So this is we call this deep breathing. And it's something that musicians, singers, they all use this as a way to get more air. And for us, we do the same thing. In Tai Chi and Qigong, you want to have the deep breathing so that you can oxygenate yourself as we practice. The warm-ups are a collection of warm-ups that I've collected over the years from all different kinds of classes and places, and including Jacqueline. The Tai Chi I learned from my uncle in China, from the village that my ancestors are from. And I think when you read the little thing I sent out, you'll see my talk about my family and how I got started teaching this back around 2000 when I went to China with my father. And when I got there, they taught me the 8 and said, teach the 8, the Americans don't have any patience to learn the 108. And he was right, because most people prefer to learn the 5-minute set versus the 45-minute set. And a 45-minute set takes like almost a year to 2 years to learn. But this set, it's only 8 moves, and you can learn this whole thing in about 8 classes. So just making sure nobody's stuck out there. So the concept of Qigong versus Tai Chi is that Qigong is the cultivation of the Qi, moving it through the system, and the Tai Chi is a circulation of the Qi throughout the system. So one is drawing it towards what we call the dantian, which is just 1 inch below the belly, 1 inch in. We call that the center, the core. And that idea that this is where the center of your being is and where it emits from. Oops, somebody coming in. You're drawing the Qi from the earth and you're bringing it into the dantian. This is the idea, that you're bringing it up and you're bringing it in. And Tai Chi is you're dispensing it out. So you're from the dantian, as you move, you visualize the Qi moving out towards the limbs, to the hands, to the feet, and outwards. So one is going in and one is going out. So those are the two kind of the difference between the Qigong and Tai Chi. So what we'll do first is the warm-ups, and then after that we'll do the Qigong like we did last week, and I'll add a few more in, and then we'll do the Tai Chi. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start with your feet. Wait a second. I'm going to hit the gallery button so I can see myself. Let's see, where's, that didn't work. I guess it's gonna have to be like that. Well, hey, John, how do I get my screen to be the big screen? Hold on, unmute.
Upper right-hand corner,
Yeah,
you will see, it'll say gallery view.
okay, yeah, gallery view.
Click on that.
Switch to gallery view, active speaker. Okay, but I'm getting you now. You're the one that's showing up. How do I get back to, is everybody seeing me as the big screen?
Yes.
Yes.
No,
I guess it's okay
Yes.
then.
you're just a little.
I
separate.
write down
No, we see everyone else.
Barney,
I
if,
see everybody
you,
with a little box.
There you
Okay,
go.
I see you.
There you
Go
are.
back.
There you are.
But as long as you can see me, I'm okay.
No.
Okay, so back to mute.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right, so standing shoulders apart. Get relaxed. The first movement is a warm up, so we're just gonna bounce. So when you're bouncing, you don't want to lift off the ground, but you want your eyes to lift. You want to keep your hips moving evenly up and down. The spine is just bouncing off the middle of the hips. And if you relax your shoulders, relax the neck, you let it kind of loosen up. And this is a form of warm-ups that I discovered in China when I was staying there. Everybody in the mornings would go into the park and they'd stand around and bouncing like this. At first I didn't understand what they were doing, but it was a way of warming up without having to, I mean, it's like equal to, I guess, jogging, running in place, trampoline. The whole idea is that the whole body is just bouncing. This stimulates the intestines and the stomach, and it activates what they call digestion. So we're just gonna do this for just another minute or so, just to get comfortable, get the limbs loose, just bouncing. Just keep bouncing. Somebody else is joining. Let me press that button. Okay. All right. Now everybody's back on. Okay. And now we're going to now move to the next warm up. Hands up, bend the knees, and swing back, and then bring your hands back up. So it kind of looks like this, sideways. And so we're going to do this, and you're going to make the hands heavy. It's like pushing the blood to the fingertips. And one more. Okay, the next one is you're going to try to keep the hips in place, so you're turning at the waist, and you're going to slap your ribs and your kidneys back there, and you switch around and slap the other side. So just start swinging from side to side, slapping the ribs and the kidneys. One more. And now we're going to do the same thing with the shoulder and the ribs. And we're going to switch to the other side, shoulders and ribs, and just slap. And one more. And now we're going to lightly pound the inside and outside of our arms. And lightly pound the front all the way down to the ankle, then up the back. And just go up as high as you can, up your back as far as you can go. And then switch over and start chopping the shoulders, chop the neck, then massage the scalp, massage your ears, massage your face. And then with your fingers like this, you're going to tap your eyes. And now we're going to do what we call facial yoga. Let's scoot up so you can see it a little better. We're going to move and exercise the muscles from the cheeks down to the neck. This area here doesn't get much workout in a normal day unless you laugh hysterically. So unless you're doing that every day, these exercises will keep the tone on the up here, the jowls and underneath. And of course, as we get older, these things just sort of start sagging over time. And if you're not using them, you lose them. That's what Dr. Lane told me. So we're going to stretch these with certain exercises that were taught to me by a facial yoga instructor. And it starts out with the E. E goes all the way back. E.
You're a little dark, Arnie.
Am I dark?
You're very dark. Yeah, there you are. Here you are.
Okay, here we go. I'm getting up slow. It's got E. E is going this, and then O pushes it this way. So it goes E, O, 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 and E, O. And now, let's make sure I got that muted. This next one is ah. Ah, I pull the muscles up my neck. Ah, it pulls up in. Leave the jaw open, then wrap the lips around the teeth. So it kind of goes ah, oh, 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 and ah, oh. If you do this on your own, you'll notice that if you do this for like 15 minutes or so, you'll feel that all the muscles in here will be activated. You'll feel like it's actually doing something. And it does. Over time, you just have this nice, you know, your face muscles are just as toned as everything else in your body. It's just that there's no exercises other than these that actually stimulate this area. So the next one, I'm going to do a bunch of little facial exercises that help tone the face. And the next one is the mouth going in a circle, like a cow chewing. And then the other way. And now we're going to make the eyes go in a circle. And reverse. And the last one is the yoga lion's pose, which is where we open up the eyes really wide and you stick your tongue out as far out of the mouth you can, and you make the sound that comes out from deep through the throat. They call it activating the throat chakra. And it's also a good way to let out a lot of this energy. So get ready. Ready? We're going to go. Blah, like that. Just get really out there and just go blah. Okay, ready? Blah, blah, blah. One more. Blah. Good, good. Now we're going to do some neck exercises. So we're going to put our hands under the chin. We're going to push it up. And then lace the fingers behind the head and bring your chin down. And then inhale as we go up. Exhale as we go down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Now we're going to place our hand on our cheek. And we're going to put the hand on our elbow, and we're going to push the cheek over as far as we can go. And then release. And then the other side, bring the hand over and push it all the way across. And then one more time on the other side. And one more time on the other side here. Okay, good. So now we're going to do what we call just a neck roll, but don't go over the back. Just go from one side to the other side. And nice and slow, and let the weight of the head go down. And one more. Okay, good. Now we're going to do some shoulder exercises. We're going to start with the shoulders rolling back, big rotator cuff movement. And now we're going to do the reverse, going forward. And now we're going to rotate one at a time back. And now we're going to rotate forward. And now we're going to push our hands straight up and push our hands straight down. So we're going to get a stretch in different directions at the same time. And then switch, push up, push down. Again. And one more. Okay, the next one we're going to pull, imagine pulling a bow back and just keep the elbow back as far as you can go. And then release. And then pull back. Pull the elbow back as far as you can go. And release. Pull back. Release. One more. Pull back. And release. Okay, now we're going to work our wrist. So we're going to turn your wrist. And reverse. And then we're going to flick out the fingers like you're flicking out water on your fingertips. And now we're going to stretch the wrist. We're going to push back the wrist, like pushing this way, getting far back as you can go. Then switch the other side. The next one, you grab with these two fingers the wrist and push down. So you're pushing down on the wrist here like that. Bring your elbows down. The other side. Bring the elbows down. And then the last one, your hand is facing in. The thumb is on the outside of the hand. You grab it, you bring it down. So now you're pushing your hand this way. And now this side. Again, just pushing this way. And then we'll start again. Other side. Down. Bring your elbows down. Other side. And the last one. So he's pushing against this way. And then the other side. Yeah, that's the way, Aggie. That's it. And then just so shake it out. And now we're gonna put our hands on our hips. And we're gonna move our hips to the circle. Keep your head in one spot, and you're gonna turn, make the circle with the hips, make your knees slightly bent, and see how big of a circle you can go, keeping your head in the center. This exercise stimulates the hip, and it brings the blood into the hip and the joints in the hip area. Now, this is really important because as we get older, your hips are one of the few places that gets brittle right away. And doing this exercise actually brings blood into the hips. And now reverse. Okay, now we're going to hold the hips in place, and we're going to move our head in a circle. And reverse. Okay, come on up. The next one we're going to do is we're going to stimulate the bladder area. So what you want to do is just slap upwards right over the bladder area, nice and light. And that's when we're going to massage the kidney area with our palms, just rubbing them, warming them up. Okay, and this one here, we're going to do this, it's a stomach exercise. And I'm going to do it sideways so you can kind of see. You're going to exhale. As you exhale, you're going to maybe, yeah. Exhale, you're going to bring the stomach in and up under the ribs. I think you can see it better this way. And then as you inhale, you relax. So exhale, in and up. Inhale, relax. Exhale, draw it in and up. Inhale, relax. So I'm going to blow out as I push up. One more. Okay. This next one we're going to do is we're going to balance up on one leg and then the other leg. Now, for those who are you know, a little off balance in the beginning, I would just use a chair or a leg, something so that I can balance off of one foot, and then the other foot, you know, I can just move it over there. If you have a problem balancing, but if you can do it freehand, what you do is you just counterbalance using one hand up in the air, and then the other leg goes up. So what you want to try to do is try to grab the ankle, and then try to bring the knees together. Again, if it's a little bit off balance in the beginning, just use a chair or a wall or a table. And once you get the knees together, grab the ankle with the other hand, and just try to find that center. It's okay if you don't get it right away at the beginning. It takes time to find that center point. Then we do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and now we do the same thing with our knee. Now this one, you can practice by leaning against the wall on your back. It's easier to do it that way in the beginning. And, or you can try to balance it with yourself, freehand. Grab the knee and bring it up as high as you can. And then grab the ankle and lift the knee up as high as you can. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. And then come down. Bring your feet together, hands over the knees. We're going to make a little circle with the knees, dipping down. And then reverse. And then come up, hands on the hips, take a step back. Put the weight on the back foot and rotate your ankle in one direction. And then rotate the other way. And then shake it out. Other side. Rotate the ankle one way. And then rotate the ankle the other way. And then shake it out. This next one, I want you to put your legs straight out, heel up, and put your hands on your thighs. Keep your back straight, keep your legs straight, and just lean forward. And as you lean forward, you should feel the stretch right on the hamstring between your knee and your hip in the back here. And as you feel that stretch, just go as far as you can go. If you can touch your toe, go ahead. If you can't, just hold on to your knees. But if you can touch your toes, inhale and exhale and sink a little deeper on each exhale. And then come up. The other side, leg is straight, back is straight, hands on the thighs, lean forward. Now you should feel the stretch right in the hamstring on the back side. And if you can touch your toe, go ahead. If you can't, just hold on to your thighs. Inhale, exhale, sink a little deeper. And then come up. This next one is it's called the warrior's pose in yoga. You've probably seen it. It's just one leg is back, one leg is bent like this. Put your forearm on your thigh. Bring your hand over the head. And then you stretch up, you open up the rib cage, you breathe, and then hand behind the back, turn and look up at the ceiling or the sky. And then switch. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Forearm on your thigh, hand over the head, reach up, stretch, open that rib cage right there, breathe, and then hand behind the back, turn and look up, and then come up. And now we're going to do another stretch on all fours. Now, some people are a little more limber than others, so if you can just get down on one side and start to feel the stretch here, it's good. And you can always work your way down as you get further. And if you can get further, try to get down. You can also go down like this with the toe up, which is another step towards more stretch. And if you can do that easily, then bring your foot down. And if you can get that far, then bring your heel down. So whatever level you're at, just feel the stretch. It's going to be about right about here is what we're going for. And now switch to the other side. And now we're going to switch to the front. And we're going to keep this back leg straight. And you're going to go down and bring the hips down so that you're stretching right where the hip and the thigh meets, right there. Where you feel the stretch, you can put your hands here like that. Or you can bring it up like that, depending on how balanced you are. Then switch to the other side. Leg is straight, back leg is straight, front leg you bend it, and then drop your hips down. You should feel the stretch right here again, where the thigh and the hip meet. Then come on up. Now this time, your feet are going to be just a little bit wider than shoulder length apart. And this is called an inversion. So we're going to bring our hands over the head, lace them together, bend the knees. And we're just going to hang upside down. Breathe into the lower back. Make the hands and head heavy. Then come up slowly from the center. And again, we'll do it again. So bring your hands over the head, lace them together, bend the knees, then hang upside down. Let the gravity open up the back. Breathe into the lower back. Then come up the center. One more. Bend the knees, hang. Then come up the center. The last warm up is a balancing exercise. So you want to stand shoulder length apart. Imagine picking up a basket, holding it on its sides, lifting it up over your head, come up on your toes, then let go of the basket and float back down on your heels. You're going to inhale as you come up on your toes. Exhale as you come back on your heels. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more. Inhale up. And exhale down. Good. So that was the warm-ups. And so now we're going to go into Qigong. The Qigong, we do a salutation, which is the opening and closing. And we last week we did I think the first two. So we'll review the first two and then we'll move on to the next ones. The whole thing about this particular Qigong is that it's about the spine. It's about moving the spine, rotating this way, rotating it this way, wiggling it up and down. What it does is it lets the spine relax and it lets all the muscles and the tendons so that the chi can move through the spinal cord, up through the central nervous system. And that whole idea of the chi moving through the system, the back is really the key part. So the Qigong we're doing it just loosens it up. It's kind of like a pre-chiropractic exercise, because if you do this enough times, you really don't need to see a chiropractor. It's literally loosening up your whole back. So we'll start with the first few. We'll do a salutation. The first one is the salutation, so feet together. Hands go over the head like a prayer. Then drop the hands down, point them down, lace them together, the fingers together. Thumbs are lightly touching just over the belly button. Unlock the kneecap. And take 3 slow, deep breaths from your diaphragm. In other words, inhale, expand, exhale, contract. Take 3 deep ones, and then bring your hands back to the side. Okay, so we'll begin with the first movement. The first movement is making the spine roll up like a carpet. And to do that, and I'm going to do it sideways so you can see how it works. So you just bear with me. Standing shoulder length apart. You bend the knees, hands go forward, head drops down. And then as you open the hands, you push out the hips. Keep your head down, keep your chin down. As I push the hips out, then as they straighten up, I push out the waist, then I push out the chest, and then at the end I look up, and then I fold back down, bending the knees. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to roll up the spine by going from the hip, the waist, the chest, and then looking up, and then folding down. I'm going to inhale as we go up. Exhale as we come down. Inhale and roll up the spine. Keep your chin down to the very end. At the very end, just look up. And then fold back down, exhaling down. Inhale and visualize the chi moving up through the feet, through the legs, up through the back, over the top of the head. Exhale into the dantian. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale and draw the chi up. Exhale, bring it into the dantian. Inhale up and bring the chi up. Exhale into the dantian. Inhale up. And exhale down. One more. Okay, so what we've done is we've rolled our spine up like a carpet, and now we're going to move our spine side to side. So we take a wider stance. Imagine yourself leaning against the wall, so when you move from side to side, you don't tilt this way. You just go from side to side, and also letting your head completely drop. So we'll start with the hand making a circle. And then the other hand makes a circle. And then as we make the first circle, when it reaches about head high, let the head and the hand follow, let the head drop. And as you drop down, then we want to shift to this side, so we're going to shift our weight to the other side. And now we make a circle, start with the circle coming up. And as it reaches about head high, you follow the head with the hand, you let the head drop all the way down. And now we're going to shift the weight to this side. So we're going to shift the weight to the other side. The hand comes up, and as it reaches the head, you kind of follow with the head all the way down, drop it down, let the head relax, shift the weight. Inhale as we go up. Exhale as we go down. Inhale up, drawing up the chi. Exhale down into the dantian. Shift the weight, inhale up, rolling up the spine. Exhale down, shift the weight. Inhale up, roll up the spine. Exhale down into the dantian. So draw up the chi on the inhale, bring it into the dantian on the exhale. We'll do one more. Okay, so I'm going to show you a new one today. And this next one is going to be that I'm going to turn my waist. First, just turn the waist once, come back, then turn the waist and chest a little further back, and then come back to center. And the third one is the waist, chest, and neck. So you turn the waist, the chest, and you look behind you. So that's 3 moves we're going to do. So we're turning the spine a little bit more, and then a little bit more. So there's 3 on each side. We're going to do 3 on each side, but we're going to do it in different languages. We're going to do it in Chinese, Japanese, and Hawaiian. And the Chinese is going to be, the first is going to be the Cantonese and Hong Kong area. Second is Mandarin, the national language. And the third one is going to be in my home village, where I learned this set, and it's called Toisan. And it's a little village in South China. And you'll learn the 1, 2, 3s. You'll probably be the only ones that know how to say this from China. So I'm really proud to teach you the 3 numbers from my little village. So we'll start with standing shoulder length apart. Bend the knees slightly. Hands are about waist high. We're going to start with just keeping the hips and hands in place. We're going to just turn the waist. So we're going to turn the waist 1 to the side, then come back to center. And then 2 is the waist chest, a little bit further back, and then come back to center. And 3, waist, chest, and neck, look all the way behind you, and then come back to center. We'll do the same 3 on each side. So I'm going to start in Cantonese. So 1 is yat, 2 is yi, and 3 is sam. Yat, yi, sam. Now in Mandarin, E, R, san, E, R, san. Now in Toisan, yi, nye, lam, yi, nye, lam. In Japanese, ichi, ni, san. Ichi, ni, san. And now in Hawaiian, ikahi, elua, ekolu. Ikahi, elua, ekolu. That's the third one. I'll teach you one more, and it's a 3/4. And the 3/4, let's see if I can do this right. Oh yeah, we're just standing shoulders apart, turn 45-degree angle, and then just bend the knees and let hang until your Your front arm is over the knee here. And then let the hand go straight out. Follow it up with your eyes. Follow it all the way up to 12 o'clock. And then turn as it goes down. Follow with your eyes all the way down. And now your other hand is over your knee. So let that hand go straight out. Follow it with your eyes all the way up to 12 o'clock. Turn. Then drop down. Gonna inhale as you come up. Exhale as we go down. Inhale and draw the chi up from the feet, the legs, up to the back, over the top of the head, and visualize it going into the dantian on the exhale. So inhale and draw the chi up. Exhale into the dantian. Do one more. So, and I'll teach you the other moves next week. So let's just close the Qigong right now, feet together. Hands over the head, in a prayer position. Drop down and point the fingers down. Place the fingers together, thumbs lightly touching. 3 slow, deep breaths. And when you're done, bring your hands to the side. Okay, so now we are ready to begin the Tai Chi. So as I was saying before, Tai Chi is really the circulation and movement of the Tai Chi. The key thing about the Tai Chi is balance and staying centered. So the idea is that it's based on the yin and yang, which is the positive, negative, up, down. It's all in the movement. I'll explain as we go. But the breathing part, again, is in the diaphragm. You want to inhale and expand the diaphragm. Exhale, contract the diaphragm. So that's a slow, deep breathing that I want you to, in the beginning, it's not very, don't think about it too much. Just breathe very comfortably, relax, keep the shoulders relaxed, keep the neck relaxed. Try to find that center point where your hips and your back is straight, so you're not leaning forward or back. And you're just trying to find that center. And we're moving around. And as we move around, just think of, I'm going to be centered. I'm going to stay relaxed. And especially the shoulders and neck, you don't want to tighten that up. You want to just keep it relaxed. So we're going to start with a couple of different movements. Last week, I showed you the salute, which is the yin and yang, which is the fist and the open hand, which is wraps around. It's called the salute. You wrap around. And then the open hand comes up over the top. The fist opens and it goes over the top, and then they both drop down. That's a salute. And that's of course, it's the yin and yang. It symbolizes the, so in Tai Chi and Kung Fu and all the other martial arts, some of them hold like that, some of them like this. Everybody has different ways, but it's always the same. It's just one fist, one open hand. So saluting is a salute to all the ancestors, to all those who have done Tai Chi before us. For those who are doing Tai Chi now, and also we're honoring ourselves for showing up and doing it here. So we're going to start with the salute. And of course, my hand is a right hand, and this is the left hand. So I can reverse it, right hand, left hand. And you just bring it up. And then the open hand comes over the top, drop both hands, and then bow. So that's the very beginning, and then I'm going to show you the different movements on that. But before I do, I want to make sure that you're getting in the right postures. No matter what you're doing in Tai Chi, there's going to be a few basic stances, and I want you to be able to kind of find the center of those stances. The first stance is just standing. So if you're standing, just normal standing, you want to be shoulder length apart. I'll do it sideways so you can see. Shoulder length apart. The knees, you don't want to lock the knees. You want to let the knees just slightly bend because chi cannot move up locked joints. They want to have it slightly bent. And then the sacrum, the back, you don't want to be arching forward like that. You want to actually drop the sacrum. So you want to kind of flatten the back by tilting down the tailbone just a little bit. It's just so that you're not arching. We don't want you to arch. We want you to, if anything, to be dropping, and the front part is not out. The front part is more just relaxed. If anything, it's more like I'm going to hug a tree. So that sort of shape is the shape that you want to have for the front and the back. So you're dropping the sacrum. Now the chest and the shoulders just roll back and down. They don't go back. They just roll out and just drop down. The neck, you want to feel like a string is pulling up through the neck so that your neck kind of comes up. You're not like this, kind of like this up. So you're pulling upwards. And then the eyes, you want to open the eyes in the peripheral vision, kind of looking into infinity. So you don't want to focus on any one spot. You want to just sort of open up your vision. So that's your standing stance. If you're going to stand, this is the stance we want to be in. And also when we're moving around, try to think of that you're relaxed and you're centered and you're all this happening from down here rather than up here or up here. It's down in the dantian. The next thing I want to show you is the stance of when we're moving around. Now, when I'm standing this way, I want you just to step back and then come back to forward and step back. Now, you don't want to step back with just a half a step. You want to get a nice good step back and then bend the knees. So if you take the step and then bend the knees, I'm going to do it this way so you can see it. You're still shoulder length apart as I step back. You're not like on a tightrope. You're not on a thin line. You're actually shoulder length apart, step back. And the back foot is 45-degree angle and the front foot is straight. So whether I stand this way and step back the other foot goes 45-degree angle and the front foot goes straight. So we'll start again. Both feet are straight, step back, 45-degree on the back, straight on the front, come back to center, step back, front foot straight, back foot is 45. Now if I do it this way and I step back, I want you to bend the knee, and as you bend the knee, now you can feel that this 45-degree angle is lining up, the knee is lining up with the toe, and the front, your knee is lining up with your big toe here. If my knee goes past the toe, like that, then I'm putting too much pressure on the knee. So if I can stand and look at my knee and my toe, then my leg is pretty straight. And that's what you want to have, is that straight front leg. So if we do it the other side, bend the knee, 45 this way, straight that way, look down at the knee, the toe is lined up, look at the back foot, the knee and the toe is lined up this way, so it's going out like that. What that does is that you don't end up having a knee turn in without the toe. So if I turn the toe in or out, the knee has to go with it. If I don't do that, my knee will start to torque as I try to drag it in or drag it out. And this whole part here, it'll cause injury of the kneecap. So always think of the whole movement, actually from the hip to the toe, as we turn our heel. Whenever I turn the heel, or the toe, we want to turn the whole foot. This way, the whole foot is standing and you put all the balance on that foot until you shift to the other foot. So those are your two stances, the standing stance and then your ready stance, okay? Those are two things. And when you're taking that stance here, like this, again, you don't want to arch your chest. You want to kind of keep it like you're hugging a tree. And as you drop down, this is the 70% weight on the front and 30% weight on the back. So it's not so much even, it's 70-30. So if I do the same thing on the other side, again, 70-30. And then not arching, but kind of keep the center. So those are your basic stances. The movement of the waist, we want to try to keep our stances that I just showed you, and then let the waist move separately from the hips, so that the waist, the hips down to the feet are grounding, sinking into the earth. And then from the waist and above is floating and able to move freely, like a tree blowing in the wind. The roots and the trunk are solid in the ground, but the branches and everything can blow around. So that's kind of like the waist up. You can move around, you can feel balanced, but then from the waist down, you want to feel this sort of sinking feeling to the earth. And as we practice this, you'll start to feel it. So the hand movements are all circular. And the hand movements, and I'll show you, the hand movements all take place right around here. Let me go back a little bit. All the movements are right about where the head, all the way down to about the waist. So this circle area here is where all the activity takes place. All the action, all the movements take place in this circle. So whether I'm moving my hands in circles or moving out or in, it's all happening right about here. We don't need to be out here. It's just all in this area. So if I turn sideways, you can see that the area is like a big ball right in front of me. All my action that my hands do and movement, they all take place right in the front, right about there. So if you find that your hands are way out, it's just too far out. Just stay kind of close in. Keep the elbows, what they call sunk. Instead of elbows up, elbows are sunk. Shoulders are relaxed. Whenever you bring your elbow past the shoulder length or shoulder height, the shoulder tightens. As I raise my elbow, all this tightens up, cuts off circulation. So instead of moving up the elbow, just move the hand up and keep the elbow below the shoulder. So as we move around and we're doing all these different things, try to remember that the elbows are always below the shoulder line. So that way you can stay relaxed. That way your neck and it's not tight. Your oxygen is moving freely through the system. You're able to get a lot of oxygen as you're breathing deeply. And as we're moving, we're trying to relax and we're trying to sink. There's a lot to think about, but as we practice, little by little, you'll start to get it. And it's really very powerful to get into that space, because it builds up the internal system and also builds out the external system. So we'll start with the salute first. So feet together. I'll do it in reverse. So the right hand, left hand. And then bow. The next movement, we're going to sink down and take a step. So you're going to sink down. I'm going to reverse it. So you're going to be mirroring me. You're on your right side. You're going to sink down on your right leg, this leg. And this leg becomes empty. So this is full 100%. This becomes 0%. So I can actually lift up and take a step out. But I'm not going to step out like that. I'm going to step out and then drop this leg down. So the weight's still on this side and I'm still balancing. Then I shift the weight to center. So starting at the beginning, we sink down a little bit on our right leg. And then we take a step out and we sink down a little further to get the foot out. And then we shift to center. The point of this is that we always stay centered no matter where we are. If I was to say stop wherever we are, you should be able to stay centered wherever you are. The whole idea of Tai Chi is you're always moving, but you're always centered. So start again, sink down, take the step, come to center. And now the hands are going to float up. The elbows are sunk, the shoulders are relaxed, the hands come in, and then they drop down, and you sink down a little bit. So I'll do it sideways. As we bring our hands up, we sink our hands down, and we sink down with it. Again, we bring our hands up, we bring our hands down. Again, as we go up, I want you to feel like the energy rises just slightly and then sink, like a tide. So we're rising up like a tide, and then we sink down. So let's begin again. So the energy, we're drawing it up to the earth, bringing it into the dantian, and then we sink ourselves down. So this is the first movement. It's just going up and then sinking down, rising and dropping. So rising and dropping is, you'll see throughout this whole Tai Chi set, that you're constantly rising and dropping. You're moving forward and back and rising and dropping. All of this is happening very similar to tides, like water. You're moving like the entire system's like water. So it's not just your arm moving, it's the whole system moving. So as we move, just sort of try to link them all together. They'll come together as practice. So we'll start again, and I'll mirror you, or you mirror me. Sink down on your right, take the step on the right, I mean to the left, come to center, hands float up, and sink down with it. And now we're going to do the first movement, which is called repulse monkey. And I'll do it sideways so you can see. We're here. You're going to turn, open up both hands, bend the elbow, and press out with the hand and pull in with the other one. So this is repulse monkey. The hand is just about under the chin, and it's straight down in the center. The other hand is close but not touching, just out there, here. So then we do the same thing on the other side. So we just open, palms open, turn the waist, bend the right elbow or left elbow, depending on which side you are. And then as you press forward with one hand, you pull in with the other. So let's practice this one just going from side to side. So we're going to repulse monkey on one side. And the repulse monkey on the other side. So one is the yin and one is the yang. So as you open up both hands, the back hand will become the yang moving forward, as the other hand becomes yin pulling back. One is receptive and one is moving forward. And then you open. And you do the opposite of each hand. One hand is going out, one hand is going in. This is called repulse the monkey. And it's based on the idea that the monkey's got my hand and I'm going to tap him in the forehead. So this is repulse the monkey. Now I'm going to show you the second move, which is called brush knee. Now the brush knee, so we're going to go from the, this way, the right, going this way, and then going this way. And now we're going to go into brush knee. So the brush knee, and you can mirror me here, is that you reach out with this hand, and this hand goes to the chest, one goes out, and then I'm going to pivot the left or the toe in, so I prepare for the turn, put the weight on this leg here, so that this leg is empty, and just take a step out. And as I step out, I bend this elbow, and as I step down, this hand becomes to go forward, and this hand is brushing the knee. So this hand brushes the knee. So this is what you're doing here. You're brushing the knee from here to here. And it looks like from here to here, it goes like that. Brush knee. So we've got the, yeah, that's it. Okay, so we go from brush knee. So this hand goes back. Turn the toe in, put the weight on that leg, take the step out, and then brush the knee with the hand and press out with the other hand. And when you press out, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So then the other hand goes up, out, this hand goes to the chest, we sit back, we pivot the right or the left toe in, or depending on which toe you're in. And then we put the weight on that leg as you bend the elbow. This leg becomes empty, or all the weight's on this side. Now you take a step out this way. And then we brush knee this side. We're going to brush the knee with the hand, and this hand presses forward. So brush knee. Again, here we are with looking down at the toe and the knee, and the back foot is 45-degree angle. So let's start again from jumping down, repulse monkey. So starting out the right side, and then the other side. And now brush knee. So this hand goes out, this one goes in. Turn this toe in, bend the elbow, take the step out, brush knee. And now the other side, so this hand goes out, palm up, this one goes in, this one sits back, pivot the toe in, bend the elbow, this foot takes a step out, then brush knee, left hand brush the knee and then press out. So the brush knee is really, it's just that. Actually, we can stand here and just do the brush knee like this. See, one hand is just brushing across the knee, and the other hand is just moving forward. And then this hand brushes the knee, and this hand moves forward. So this one drops down and brushes the knee, this one presses forward. This one brushes knee, this one goes forward. So basically, that's what you're doing, just brushing the knee and then pressing forward at the same time. One is going in and one is going out. It's always a yin-yang position. So let's take it from the beginning. Drop down, take the step, center, hands float up, elbows sunk, shoulders relaxed, hands sink down with it. Repulse monkey to the right, open, bend the elbow, press out with the the right hand, pull in with the left. Other side, repulse monkey. And now reaching out, put the other hand in the chest, shift the weight, toe in, bend the elbow, take the step, brush knee. And now reach out with the other hand, palm up, the other hand goes in, sit back, pivot, toe all the way around, shift the weight onto that leg, bend the elbow, and now we're going to take a step out to the other side, brush knee, and press forward. And so we'll close. This is how we close because we haven't got the whole set down. So closing is just going like this. No matter where you are, just stop and just go like this, and just come back and come to standing. Okay, so now I want to do this again, and I have, we'll do it, we'll just do that thing maybe 3 times in a row, okay? So first time, get centered, sink down, take a step out, come to center, hands float up, elbows sunk, shoulders relaxed, hands float down, sink down with it. Repulse monkey to the right. Repulse monkey to the left. Now brush knee. Then brush knee the other side. And then we close. And then we begin again, drop down, take a step, come to center, float, hands float up, hands float down, sink down, repulse monkey to the right, repulse monkey to the left, brush knee, Brush knee the other side. And close. One more time. Sink down. Take the step. Hands float up. And sink down. Repose monkey. Repose monkey. Brush knee. And close. And now salute. And thank you for joining me in this class.